Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about the possible impacts Debbie will bring to the southeast and the development of potential Ernesto out in the Caribbean. First, looking at the sea surface temperatures where that possible Ernesto is, it's now in the higher 29s, some spots 30 degrees Celsius, so that is bath water. It could definitely form later into the week, but there are some issues with it now, preventing it to form in the short term. And Debbie is no longer over the waters, so it can no longer strengthen. Yeah, it has made landfall as of around 6 a.m. this morning, Atlantic Standard Time, and it is expected to come back over the Atlantic Gulf Stream sometime maybe Tuesday. So it might get over those warm 30s, some 30 and a half, 31 degree water, and then make a strong tropical storm landfall in South Carolina. Here's the GFS model. You can see it has it making landfall, but it already has, so no need to look at that in the moment. There is coming back off the coast and making landfall as a strong tropical storm in Georgia, bringing even more rain and flooding to the southeast before skirting off. And there's that possible Ernesto making landfall as a strong tropical storm in the Houston area, kind of around where Beryl did. Here's the wind shear. You can see that it is definitely still reflecting it, so it will have no trouble maintaining tropical storm strength. And possible Ernesto is going to be in some favorable conditions as it moves on. Here's the possible full rainfall maps. You can see in Florida, 24 inches, same in South Carolina and some spots in Georgia and North Carolina. So y'all will have to be watching out for heavy flooding. The vorticity is showing it's still wrapped together quite nicely, falling apart a little tomorrow night, and kind of re-strengthening before making landfall again in northern Florida or southern Georgia, and then skirting off to the west, and then coming back to the east and going finally off to sea. Here's what Debbie looks like currently. You could see at one point it had an eye for a little bit. Let me stop it there. Let me try to find where that eye was, at what time. There it was, very small eye. But since it's made landfall, it has no more eye, although still heavy convection on the northeast side. So this could still be bringing impacts to the southeast longer than I expect. Here is the tropical weather outlook from NOAA. You can see this little area's forecast cone has changed down here, but it still is at a 30% chance in a week and 10% chance in 2 days. And there's Debbie up there now. Let me refresh this. Just overland in the Panhandle in Florida, going to go through southern Georgia and make a sharp northeast turn, coming back over the Gulf Stream and re-strengthening to a strong tropical storm. Here's the new map. It now has winds of 75 miles per hour, so it's starting to weaken. There's that track I was telling you about coming off of Georgia, staying off the coast until sometime in the early afternoon to Thursday, and then coming back, making landfall as a strong tropical storm, and then staying overland, bringing tons of flooding. Here's the rainfall potentials. You can see that they're still heavy, 12 inches in parts of northern Florida and southern Georgia, 16 inches in southern South Carolina and Georgia, and then 20 inches in southern South Carolina and Charleston, and creeping closer to Savannah. So that will cause heavy rain issues, so y'all will have to be on the lookout for that. And finally, the potential for flash flooding. You could see it's high, at least 70% in cities like Charleston, getting close to Wilmington, also in Savannah, and creeping closer to Jacksonville. So if you guys live in the southeast at all, make sure you have your notifications on so you can get watches and warnings as they come out. Well, thank you all for tuning in with me for this episode of Tropical Weather. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you get notifications and spread the word to people about the system. And like always, stay safe and be prepared.